Boxing King Media in association with Boxro. MACKLIN out here in Saudi Arabia. Is it your first time in Saudi? Did you come to the...
I was here for the Ruiz fight, the rematch. Yep. But do you know, I've got to say, I prefer Jeddah to Riyadh. But maybe we're just in a better hotel. I don't know.
You picked up any Arabic?
No, not really.
No worries, man. So everyone seems to be saying the same. You know, Jeddah seems to be a lot nicer and a bit more organised, and it feels like a big fight. There's a big fight feel. You got people like Vander Holyfield, Prince Nassim Hamed, Roberto Duran apparently flying in as well.
Yeah. This has definitely got a much, I don't know, much more excited, much bigger fight feel to it. Obviously, Rui's rematch was a huge fight, but we were pretty kind of shut off a little bit in the just between two hotels, and you know, our hotel wasn't the best. Where this time the setup's been just so much better.
Top man. So before we get to the main fight, is there any particular fights on the undercard that you're looking at seeing?
I think that the two heavyweights, I think the big Chinese southpaw and Hrgovic, I think that could be bombs away. I think someone could be getting knocked out in that one. Obviously Callum Smith as well. Ben Whittaker, very impressed with his pro debut. Looking forward to seeing his one. They're the ones that are standing out to me.
And we'll speak about the real main event this week, which is Johnny Nelson versus Eddie Hearn.
Yeah, well, listen, Johnny's got to give his opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Everyone's not going to like what other people say, but you got to respect everyone's got their point of view, and he's coming from a good place. I don't know what Johnny said. I think he's not saying he's done. He's just saying he's saying look. It always depends on the manner of the defeat. If it's a split decision, they'll probably go again. If it's a really close points one. But if he was to get comprehensively beaten, would he? I just think with what he's already achieved, what the money he's earned, would he have the appetite to carry on? I think that's where he's coming from. He's not saying he's shot and he should retire. He's just saying he thinks he probably wouldn't want to carry on because would he have the motivation? That's what he was saying.
I think obviously the media have lapped it up, and I was talking to Johnny earlier. He seems to have got the most hits this week, because there's back and forth between him and Eddie Hearn, and obviously Adam Smith's flying in as well. Do you think all the fans are expecting something awkward or something odd to happen? How do you think it's going to go down, and the old brigade of Johnny, Adam Smith, Eddie Hearn finally bump into each other?
Nah, listen, you got to remember all these people, all of us in boxing have known each other a long time. Have been working on big fights with each other for a long time. Everyone's friends, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean you can't have a spats with your friends. We all in any walk of life, you have disagreements and you feel strongly about your opinion. You can clash, can't you? But if you're friends, you'll get over it, won't you?
Definitely, mate. So, main event, obviously I spoke to quite a few different coaches this last couple of weeks, and most of them are saying having two coaches is not the way to go. Two voices can get complicated. What do you think about that? Obviously, you've got vast experience in boxing and fighting with different trainers. You had a fair few trainers yourself.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's important that they're both singing from the same hymn sheet, that they're both on the same page, that they're both in agreement with how they see it going. You don't, I suppose, but you don't want anyone's feelings being hurt or anyone's pride being hurt, but you don't want confusion or anything being confused on the night. You don't. You need to know who's got the say, really. Do you know? But if they're on, you'd like to think that one of them will take the initiative there, and that the other guy won't be put out by that. That ultimately, it's what's best for AJ. That's what's most important. And if they're both coming from a good place, they both want what's best for AJ, which I'm absolutely assuming they do. Then their personal feelings or their personal egos should take a back seat, and then I think they should just agree. Look, you take the lead, and I'm behind you, because otherwise that could get messy, couldn't it?
Definitely. Obviously, Ben Whittaker's on the undercard. You being a man from the Midlands as well. Do you think the Midlands are crying out for like a superstar? I'm trying to think the last name that really made it big from Birmingham, and from that area. Who was it? You tell me.
Well, Frankie Gavin had a good run in it. I had a good run in it. Before me, there was Robert McCracken. I mean, in terms of superstar, I think Ben Whittaker can go on and achieve what everyone's saying he can, he could be the biggest. Yeah, couldn't he? He's got the backing as well. Sky are fully behind him. He's got that launch pad of the silver medal from the Olympics. So he's already got big profile off the back of that. Sky are really getting behind him. He looked $1 million on his pro debut. He's out here on this card. So he's got that personality as well, where people are going to tune in to watch him, whether they love him or whether they hate him. So as long as he can sort of keep producing the goods in the ring, and he can carry that success that he had in the amateurs into the professional ranks, I think he could be the biggest yet.
Definitely. And moving on to the other co-main event, Joshua versus Usyk 2. So just tell me, obviously we've spoken about it in detail before, but what's your gut feeling right now from what you've seen, the way the both guys have carried themselves this week?
Look, when the first fight happened, and there was talk about pretty straight away, wasn't it? They were exercising the rematch clause. I remember thinking, that's a bad fight for Joshua. It's just a bad style for him, Usyk. I just don't think his style will ever come off on top, really. I just thought it's not good. And then as the fight goes on, I've stuck with that, really. But I've got to say, and I don't like changing my mind fight week, because lots of things can play. You can read into things. You can read little things that happen, little stories you hear, little sound bites you hear. You can read into them too much. I think Usyk is the favourite, but I have to say, interviewing Robert Garcia yesterday for a piece with Sky, I'll give Joshua more of a chance than I was before. I think I liked what Robert Garcia told me, about things they're working on, about. This is someone who had a lot of success with Maidana. He took on Marcus Maidana before the two Mayweather fights, and a lot of guys who were friends of his within the boxing world told him, don't do that, Robert. That guy is shot. You'll have no success. Don't do it. And look what he did. Look at the success he had with him. So, this wasn't something he went into lightly. He had a good few meetings with AJ, and he said, nah, I think there's a lot left in this kid. I like what he's saying to me. I want the challenge. So, and he said in training, everything he's asked him to do, he's done. He's come out here X amount of weeks before, and actually Robert spent a lot of time with him. I didn't know it was a 6-week thing. It's not, they spent months together. So I still think Usyk's the favourite, but maybe not as much as what I initially thought.
And last question, Matt. Do you think the fans are going to give AJ the credit for taking the rematch? Because we all know in boxing he could have played it any way he wanted it, through politics, and avoided this fight. But he's gone in, he went straight in against Ruiz, straight in against Usyk. Everyone seems to be saying, that he's not the favourite. But do you think people are missing the fact that he deserves a lot of credit? Because a lot of fighters over the years avoided rematches, and he's gone straight in, and he clearly is the underdog.
I think it's massive credit. I don't think anyone's ever doubted his.
About the casual fans, the fans who were just slating him.
Yeah, well, they're negative people. The haters are haters, and the haters are always going to hate. They're just negative people that are probably unhappy in their own lives. They're always looking to cope people. That's what I've found over the years with those kind of people. Anyone who can knock you can't knock AJ's willingness to constantly take on the next best challenge. He's done that time and time and time again ever since he's turned professional. Even in his amateur days, this wasn't a kid who was boxing from 10 years old. He achieved so much in a relatively very short period of time. And then he turned pro. He went challenge after challenge. Immediate rematch, Ruiz. Immediate rematch this time. Hats off, respect, big time.
Definitely, Matt. Thank you for your time, and enjoy fight night.
Cheers.